Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from my cabin in the woods. And I guess this is also a sheep pen video. I think they're all going to be sheep pen videos, so welcome to the sheep pen. I wanted to talk to you guys briefly about a dream I had. And I wanted to express some things to you, people that have been my loyal followers, and especially those that I've been conversing with via email or in PayPal or wherever we happen to encounter each other. Some of you have my phone number. But I had a dream when I was a really young minister. I was just first starting out, and I was really just like on fire for God, and I was all about getting people saved, and I had this evangelism spirit and this heart of a pastor, and I just couldn't wait to get into the ministry, and I just couldn't wait to get through the training so I could get started with the work. And I had a dream, and I can't recall whether it was one of those half awake, half asleep dreams, or a full-on dream, or even a waking vision. It's just the images from it are etched in my mind. And what I saw was, and I know that, y'all know that I'm not a pre-trib rapture person. I'm not a pre-tribulation rapture person. That's one of the reasons I'm big into prepping and animals and, farming and homesteading and all of that, because, rough times are coming, I'm sure of it. However, there is a rapture. I just believe that it happens at the same time as the resurrection and the second coming of Christ. And so I really feel like that whole armor of God discussion, that I think it's Hebrews 6:11 through 17, maybe, I don't know. The put on the full armor of God scripture. At the end of it, it says, so put on the full armor of God so that you can stand in that evil day. And a lot of people, apply that to their daily life, but my opinion of that scripture is it's a direct reference to the end times. The evil day is where we find ourselves. And but at any rate, I don't know why I went down that road. I just want to express to you guys that I feel like I was literally conceived for the purpose, put on this planet for the purpose of what is about to happen in our world. And at first I thought my role in it was going to be, with a rifle on top of a tank, right? That I was going to be a physical warrior. And I've trained for it my whole life. And, I still got it going on. I would not jump on me or assault my home if you know what's good for you. I trained for many years. But if y'all recall, back in the spring, almost a year ago, I got word from God that my job was to be a spiritual warrior. And I got called to this mission, and I ran from it for a year, and I had a Jonah moment. I had a couple of Jonah moments, if you know what I mean. Wasn't quite the belly of the whale, but at some point in some of that, I would have crawled inside the belly of a whale to make it stop. Sorry. A little gallows humor. But back to that, when I was a young man and a young minister, and I'm in my 20s still. Like, I went right out of the music business in my 20s before my 30th birthday. I'm probably 27, 28 when I had this dream. And it was even before I was a youth evangelist, and before I had contemporary Christian bands that I toured with, and I did all that later on. It's just at the very beginning, when I was first getting a license, right, to minister, I had this dream, and in it I saw the rapture. I know I'm all over the place. This is an unplanned video, but the rapture is happening, okay? And as I get raptured up to meet the Lord, I start to notice around me that each person has a few people behind them, and they're like flocks of birds. You got your front person, and you've got your people behind them, and then more behind them, kind of like a pyramid or a triangle, until it's just a cloud of people behind that one person. And I was like, Lord, what is this? And the Lord spoke to me and said, those are all of the people that each of those people led to me. That each person that led someone to me is, you know, behind him are the ones that he led, and the ones that he or she led, and behind them are the ones that he or she led. And it just goes on and on. If you can imagine an enormous flock of birds with one at the head of it, who was responsible for bringing all of them in, almost like a pyramid scheme or a multi-level marketing thing. And I saw a few people that had no one behind them, or they only had one, and that person had no one behind them. And a lot of people that were just alone. And I said, "What is that, Lord?" And he said, "Those people never added to the kingdom anything but their own soul." And I'm kind of tearing up because it made me sad that they could have had that army of people behind them too. They could have helped save those people too, you know, other people too, but they didn't. And I said, "Lord, where are my people?" And I turned around, and the biggest flock I'd ever seen, it went on for miles. That the people just behind me were many, and the people behind them were even more. And it just went on and on and on as far as the eye could see. And I said, "Lord, how am I going to do all of this? How did this happen?" And he said, "You touch more lives than you realize, because you're brave and you're not afraid to speak your truth." I want to say that I'm acknowledging that those of you that have been with me, who have been affected and touched by this channel, I'm acknowledging you that you are my church. And I believe that I'm your pastor. And we're going to grow this thing together. And just since I shifted gears here and got real serious about releasing this message, I've been getting so much communication from viewers. And there's a lot of negative stuff, but I let that slip off my back. I just toss it, file 13, on to the next thing. But what blows me away is how many people are telling me that before they found this channel, they didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus. And that through things I said on this channel, even before I got all preachy on you, it changed their lives. I pointed them to Jesus. Letter upon letter, message upon message. Someone accepted Jesus in the comment section of one of these videos lately. He walked himself through the sinner's prayer. I want to thank you for... It's almost like the way they would elect a Roman emperor in the old days. The soldiers would just pick the man they wanted by putting him up on a shield and passing him around and carrying him around on this shield and yelling his name. So, by de facto, I've become your pastor. I never set out to be that, but it appears that's what I am. And I want you to know I have a renewed determination to respond to communication. It takes up a lot of my time, but thanks to you and your support, I have the time now. I'm not having to work all the time. And so I'm trying to keep up with all the communication. If I've missed you, or especially if you're from the past, I never communicated with people in the past. I just didn't have time. And back then, a lot of that communication was just, you know, about conspiracy theories and politics. But I've had some really strong heart-to-heart conversations with people, and I'm pastoring them through email. Feel free to email me. If it gets to be too much, I'll do the best I can. I mean, ultimately, if you look at the numbers, this is already a pretty big church. Like 400 to 600 people is my guess. I mean, if I had to draw it down to the tried and true folks, the real true believers, my real supporters, you're probably talking 100. And I feel like there's some people out there that would be there for me no matter what. I want to meet you in person. I want to meet every one of you in person. We're going to have a mass gathering. I know I said this last year. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm going out on faith, so don't say later, "Oh, I thought we were going to have this," or "You promised this." I'm just saying this is my desire. And God gives us the desires of our heart. And I hope to meet you all in person. And thank you. Thank you for being open and listening to what I have to say. And I'm so humbled that I've been a great help to many of you. And thank you for telling me that, because sometimes I think I've been doing all this for nothing. We'll see you next time, and God bless you.